The issue here is that the e-government servers are presently with ITLD. Now, the Digital Services has contracted with a third party to put the servers on the cloud, shall we say. I mean, it's just basically giving the server to a third party to manage elsewhere. Now, the ITLD workforce do not have a problem with putting things on the cloud. In fact, there are some services that they themselves have contracted to put on the cloud. Now, but if they contract to put a server on the cloud, they will have a procurement process. They will see, what company gives best value for money, and then they are involved in the management of that contract. So they will have access. If the client, so to speak, has any issues, it will be dealt with by ITLD, so on and so forth. What is happening is that this server has now been contracted out. We don't know what procurement process has been undertaken by Digital Services. If in fact that contract is best, the best possible services for the money, if it's good money, if it's value for money, this is something that is unknown to us. And obviously the issue here is again that these are roles and responsibilities pertaining to ITLD that have been taken away.
So just to be clear, ITLD have been excluded from that process completely?
Yes, they have. And obviously this is why we are now having to take some measures, because I wouldn't call them industrial action measures yet. It may get to that because we are going to meet weekly to discuss potential escalation into industrial action, because they feel that they've been forced into it. I mean, for me, I was speechless when I heard that these servers were being taken away whilst we are discussing the transfer of responsibilities for cybersecurity in dispute. I mean, I was speechless as regards industrial relations. I'm incredulous as to the fact that they have handled this issue in this manner.
Well, this is a dispute that's been going on for a number of years, and you've accused the government previously of trying to break the ITLD department. Let me ask you, why would they want to do that? And also, the Minister for Digital and Financial Services, Albert Isola, has said in the past that technology is a fast, ever-evolving sector, and isn't it therefore incumbent on the government to manage that as efficiently as it can?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that everybody would agree with that, GGCA and ITLD workforce alike. Certainly, these are people who are very qualified. We have programmers, software developers, we have experts in security. We've got all sorts, people who are extremely qualified, with their degrees, their masters, etc. Now, we have this, workforce of experts. What we fail to understand, and what we've failed to understand in the last 6 years, is why they are being disenfranchised and disempowered. We certainly don't understand. I mean, they were the first proponents of e-services. They are, happy, and they were very, very excited to bring that forward. The problem has been that for the last 6 years, they have been under-resourced. And the under-resourcing, in fact, was something that was confirmed to us in the meeting. The official side recognizes that they have been chronically under-resourced. So it means that they've never been able to fully deliver on these projects. But certainly the expertise is there, the willingness is there, the work ethic is there. We don't know why this is going on, and we don't know why there seems to be this insidious campaign to dismantle the department.
Well, how would you like to see this particular dispute resolved?
Well, I think that there's a relatively easy solution, because if now the management of the servers, the administrator and the manager of those servers is Digital Services, I think it should be relatively easy to change that to ITLD. So ITLD will continue. Fine. I mean, the services can go on the cloud, but managed by ITLD. I think that's a relatively reasonable solution.
Well, you have a meeting scheduled for the 19th of September. Would you hope to bring that forward now?
Well, absolutely. I mean, we are certainly, these are very reasonable people. These are people who want to enter into dialogue, into meaningful dialogue. But we feel that, to be honest, all the negotiations to date, they sit, they talk with us, but then they don't really listen. And I think that's borne out by the fact that they said, look, we'll suspend all these measures, to take stuff away from you. We'll meet again in the 19th. And then in the interim, they've just taken something else away. So obviously, it's lip service. It's not a real attempt to negotiate and dialogue. And can I just say, for the avoidance of doubt, in case there's any doubt out there, clarify completely that this has absolutely nothing to do with any pay claim. That this has got absolutely nothing to do with any money. They are just wanting to save their department. In fact, with this measure of refusing discretionary overtime, in this economic climate, they are refusing to work extra, so they will get less income. And I think that only goes to show, certainly as regards the lower grades, how desperate they are to fight for their department.